All right, so at the moment, this is what our app looks like. Now, I want to make a few modifications to the app to maybe jazz it up a little bit. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make that image fill the entire space of the image view. So let's change that image view from aspect fit to aspect fill. Then I want to change the nav bar color to maybe something that looks a bit more like a garden app, so some form of green. And I'll change the background view as well to some sort of nice light green color. That means I need to change my label to a white text. I'm also going to change that camera to a white camera. All right, so now I'm going to show you how we can create a neat little app icon for our app. So I'm just going to go onto Freepik, which is a really nice website for graphic resources, and I'll just search for flower. All right, cool. So we've got loads of different types of flowers, but I want something kind of simple. Maybe something like one of these flowers. So let's go ahead and download it and unzip it. As you can see, they include the license, but also a file that we can edit inside Illustrator. So that's an EPS file, which is basically a vector file. So the flower that I'm quite keen on is probably this one. So I'm just going to select it and copy it by Command C. And then I'm going to open up Photoshop and make a new canvas. So this is really important because we're going to be making our app icon the easy way by using this website, Make App Icon. You can see that they want your starting image size to be 1536 by 1536, so super large. So that's what I'm going to make here, 1536 by 1536. Hit enter. All right, and then I'm going to paste my image in as a smart object, and I'm going to scale it up so that it looks reasonably large on screen. So maybe about this size, I guess. Now, I'm pretty bad at centering by eye, so I'm going to use Photoshop to help me do that. So I'm going to select the entire screen, and then I will make it horizontally and vertically centered. Sweet. So the next thing I want to do is add a gradient to the background to make it look nice and appley. So to do that, I'm going to go back into Illustrator, and then I'm going to select some colors from this image that we chose. So I'm going to use the color dropper tool, of course, and I want to use a nice dark purple. So let's copy that hex code, and I'm going to add a gradient here. So as you can see, I've actually already added it in here, but we'll just do it again to show you. So here I'm going to add that color I got from earlier on. And then the other side of the gradient, I'm just going to use maybe a lighter purple, like maybe one of these. All right, so let's copy that and get back into Photoshop and edit this. Let's change that color to this one. All right, cool. Looking good. Now I'm going to add my gradient. Maybe I'll just drop it down vertically. Looks all right. I think I could make this a little bit brighter, of a little bit more purple, a bit brighter of a color. And is it okay? Yeah, that looks pretty neat. Let's put our image on top. Looking good. So let's go ahead and save this. I'll call it what flower app icon.psd, and I'm going to uncheck the layers, and I'm going to save it onto my desktop. All right, cool. So once that's done, then I'm just going to drop it in here. This is literally the easiest thing ever. So I've got my desktop open, and I'm just going to drag this image in PSD format into the toaster. And you will see it going into the toaster. It's really neat animation, and it's going to bake it for a little while. So it's going to ask you for an email address to send the processed images to you. So you can use whatever you like. I personally have a burner email address just for these kind of purposes. So the icons that I want, I don't want it for watch, and I don't really want to subscribe. And then all you have to do is just add your email, and you'll be able to download it. And you can see that they provide all of the sizes that you need. All right, so let's go ahead and check email. All right, so there's our app icon from Make App Icon, and I'm just going to download the zip file that they've provided. Okay, so I'm going to unzip that app icon, and then you can see that you've got 3 folders, Android, iMessenger, and iOS. The one that we're interested in is the iOS, and you can see that you've got all the icons that you need. And also, it's formatted in a way that you can basically just drag and drop it into your folder. If you have a look inside your assets.exe assets folder, and if you say show in Finder, the app icon, you can see that it's named exactly the same, appicons.appiconset. So all we need to do is just to replace this folder. So just to recap, I'm in the assets.exe assets with the app icon selected. Currently it's completely empty. I'm going to right click and say show in Finder. So this is where it is, assets.exe assets. And then I'm going to delete this and instead drag this new one in here. And you'll see that it updates in Xcode and it's all beautifully classified. None of this dragging and dropping. So some of these are not placed because they are of the wrong size. So all we need to do is just to delete them and you're good to go. So let's check out our beautiful app icon on our phone. And there it is. Looks pretty neat, right? So you can go ahead and style your app however you like. Change the colors, change the layout, change the designs. Basically go nuts, make it your own, and make it however you want it to be. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to convert various models into a format that we can use with CoreML and creating our flower classification app. So there's loads of places where you can find pre-trained models. The easiest is probably just Googling it for the particular implementation that you want and see if it exists. But for Caffe, at least, I know that there's something called Model Zoo, where you've got a whole load of pre-trained models that you can basically download and use. And I'll include a link to this in this lesson as well. So onwards and upwards, and I will see you on the next module.